I want to get back to Senga because for me, enough. Like, in the offseason, after watching what happened last season, it should have been the end. And there were reasons to believe, Will, that it was going to be the end. Maybe the Mets were going to move on from Senga. Then once that came out there, and probably there were no feelers for a reason. And then Senga was like, no, I'm excited to be here. And then he was the talk of spring training. Twice now, last Saturday or whatever it was, last Saturday against the A's, and then this game. You can't have that happen. Combined with last year and just his overall time here, the Mets, to me, the easy thing is to just move on from Kodai Senga. You think that's realistic here at some point soon?
It's not an easy thing to do, though. That's the problem, right? He controls some of that future because, as we saw last season, they had to ask his permission to be demoted to the minor leagues. Per his contract, that's still the case. They still have to ask him for permission before they can demote him. He's not an easy guy to do that with. And frankly, if you have questions about him being a starting pitcher, maybe you want to ask him also to be a reliever while you're in the minor leagues. But that's already another thing that you have to ask somebody permission on because he's just not going to do that for you. There has to be something in it for him as well, I feel like, and I just don't see it right now being a good answer for them.
Also, what are you going to do? Are you going to put Sean Manaea back in the starting lineup? He gave a 5 earned runs today. Now, tough spot for him, obviously, but who are you going to bring up? Christian Scott? Is it okay? But think about it, Sal. So now you're going to have a guy who's coming up from the minors, not Juan Soto, who's coming back, who I don't even know what Juan Soto's going to do to help this team. But you're going to have a guy come up for the minors and say, hey, good luck. The whole season's riding on you. I mean, it's a lot to throw a young guy into.
I mean, the problem with Senga, and just to add on one quick thing, is that all we heard all spring was that as long as he's healthy, he's going to be back to being an effective guy. As far as we know, he's healthy, and he's terrible, and that's the most troubling thing about the whole thing.
Yeah, and I would not go to Manaea. And to your point, like, all these question marks that we had coming into the year, oh, well, if Manaea reverts back to what he was at the end of 24, it'd be great. If Semien could refine the fountain of youth, whatever, if Beatty was taking the next step, they've all gone wrong for the Mets. Polanco, all have gone wrong. But I think Senga, to me, would be an easy fix here. We already know how the Mets felt about him a year ago. He's not getting the job done. There's no reason to believe he can. And I'm not saying Christian Scott needs to be the savior, but he's the next guy up. And at least for now, in the short term, maybe they do decide to move Manaea back. Who knows what's going to happen with Peterson? The other issue, like to Will's point, I don't trust Senga in any other role outside of starting, and clearly he can't do that. So for me, it will be one shot to the bow with the Mets. That's a significant move if you do DFA.
Okay, so something has to happen. They obviously they changed up the lineup today, and Carson Bench is leading off, and actually I think that helped him a little bit. Who's going to be the person who's going to be the symbolic head that's going to roll here? I mean, I think we all don't believe that it's going to be Carlos Mendoza going to get rid of the manager, before May. That doesn't seem right. Hitting coaches, all these guys are all brand new for the most part, kind of getting into their roles. So who's going to pay the price? Like, even, again, if it is symbolic, do you really DFA Kodai Senga to send a message?
No, I mean, I think it's too early for any drastic roster things. I mean, Will just laid out that their roster is imperfect and has a lot of problems with it. Those are more bigger moves that happen later. I think when we're talking about, mid to late April, you can't start just releasing people or, trying to do those type of things because it's too early. I know it's crazy to say that. So I think you're going to have to let it play out a little bit, see if bad goes to worse, and then do the big things. I don't think they're at the drastic level.